3rd of October. It's currently 7:45 and I'm just getting ready to leave for work. I'm in school all morning, just one school but 4 observations, so yeah, so I've got a pretty full-on day. And then this afternoon it's just online meetings, so at least I'll be back home for that. So I'm just having a cup of tea and gonna have some breakfast. I'm just gonna have a banana. I'm not a big breakfast person unless it's kind of like a brunch, like at lunchtime, but first thing in the morning I find it really difficult to eat, so I tend to just have a piece of fruit, so a banana or an apple or something like that. And I'm going to share it with Harvey, just a tiny bit, because rabbits love banana. They can't have it very often because it's so high in sugar, but it's like bunny heroin. So I'm going to have to set the camera up quick and he'll come running within like nanoseconds. So yeah, so today there won't be much filming this morning because obviously I'm in school, but I will catch up with you a little bit later, and I want to show you my socks. I managed to get my one sock blocked, and then hopefully that will be dry later so I can share that with you as well. So yeah, I'm just going to finish my tea. So we're in Brighton traffic, which is always enjoyable first thing in the morning, but yeah, the weather is so glorious. It is such a beautiful morning though, so I quite enjoyed the drive over here, and yeah, now it's just rush hour traffic. Hopefully I'm not going to be late for my first appointment. It is now the afternoon and I have been back from work a little while, but I've had some online meetings that I've had to get on with, and I've also let Harvey out to have a little hop around the garden. But I thought I would sit down, have a nice cup of tea in my little bird mug from my lovely friend Sally, and talk to you about knitting and what I've been up to. So I finished last night my Swiss Dot Shorty sock by Nancy Wheeler, who also has the lovely podcast Knit Zip Happy. Yeah, finished it last night, blocked it. It's still a bit damp, but I'm going to show you while the light's fairly good. So this is what it's looking like. Absolutely love it. So the colour yarn is a Crazy Zauberball, and the grey is Coupe Knits Sockier, and I can't remember the colourway. If I remember, I will update my Ravelry page, and you'll find the link below. But I'm really pleased with it, and the texture is just fantastic. So I am very pleased with how they've turned out. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. The second thing I wanted to show you was some yarn that I bought a little while ago, and I did show it on my last podcast, but I will show you again. This is Bicolana, this gorgeous sort of burnt umber colour. It's absolutely fantastic. And I said that I wanted to make a jumper, and I was looking at the Eclair by Laura Penrose, and I did a swatch, so I thought I would show you. I haven't cast it on yet, but I thought I would show you the swatch, just make sure I've got it the right way round. But I got gauge first time, and I really like how the yarn knitted up. This is the yarn that was used for the pattern as well, so there you go. Those lovely cables, and I think they are going to be gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead with this sweater. I'm going to make it more cropped than in the pattern, and there's charts for kind of different areas of it, so I need to print that off. Quite often I just work off the laptop and I just kind of get it up every now and then to check, but with this I'm going to have a look at the chart sort of on paper because I can't see it very well. Partly because of my dodgy eyesight, and partly because the screen, you know, I just can't see it very well. So yeah, so I'm going to get on with that if I get the chance to cast it on. The other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to finish my slippers. So I was making some slippers, which you will have seen on my last podcast episode, for the hands and feet cowl that the lovely girls from Wool and Wishes were doing, and I haven't started the second one yet, so I didn't finish that. But the weather is starting to change. There's definitely a nip in the air, and sooner or later I'm going to want something on my feet. So at the moment I'm just putting a pair of hand knit socks on, and that's absolutely fine, but sooner or later I am going to need those slippers in my life, so I need to get a wriggle on with that really. Anyway, I'm going to finish my tea. I've got a little bit more work to do, and then yeah, I'm going to chill out for the rest of the day, read some more of my book, The Maid. Loving that. Thank you so much for all your suggestions on the last vlog. I will answer some of them. A lot of you were saying about the 100 Years of Lenny and Margot. I loved that book, and I did talk about it on one of my podcasts, but it's definitely a good read. And quite a few of you said as well about the new Jodie Picoult one, that it was really good and you really enjoyed it. So yeah, keep them coming in. Really enjoying those. And I've nearly finished The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, which makes me a bit sad. But yeah, I might even finish that today or tomorrow. So, but loving it. Anyway, wittering on. So I will catch up with you a bit later on. It's a new day. Yesterday's vlog ended a bit abruptly. I was just really tired after finishing work yesterday. Finished quite late, and yeah, just didn't have any energy. I didn't do any knitting, didn't cast on my new sock, and I just read a little bit and had some dinner and went to bed. This morning I have been up for quite some time. I've done some paperwork, and I am in school again this afternoon, where I'm working with staff, pupils, and also delivering some training. So that'll be fun. So it's another long day for me. I did have a comment asking me what I did in schools. I am a social emotional mental health practitioner. So I go into schools and support them around those areas. And yeah, and I love my job. But it's hard work. It can be quite emotionally challenging, I guess. Anyway, starting to witter, so I am going to catch up with you a bit later on. It will probably be after work because, yeah, full on day, but I will touch base with you later on this evening. I hope you're having a really good day, wherever you are. pulled up outside the school and got myself a sneaky coffee on the way, and yeah, I have got about 8 minutes before I've got to be inside. So I'm going to read a few more pages of The Maid. It's really funny actually, because I started reading this a couple of days ago and left it on the coffee table, and Leon the next day sort of said, oh, he said, that book you've got, it's quite interesting. I said, oh yeah, it's Whodunit. He was like, yeah, he said, I started reading it. So so we're kind of comparing notes now. When I went to bed last night, he was going to have another read, so I don't know how far he's got, but I've got to make sure I catch up with some reading so we can discuss the plot later, but really enjoying it. So yeah, so I shall get out the car in about 5 minutes and walk over the green to my school, get some more work done, and yeah, I will see you back at home. I am finally home. It is 5:15, got home, and there's been a parcel on the doorstep, so I'm going to open it with you because it's yarn, and we love opening yarn, don't we? So I've got this package here, and I placed an order with Will's the Answer. So you may have seen the podcast, the lovely ladies at Will's the Answer, and yeah, I was watching Ali's, is it her vlog or her podcast? And she showed off their Strictly Sock set that they were doing. And I had a look on the website and I kind of thought, oh, make a purchase. So show you what I've got. Oh, they're gorgeous. So I got this one, which is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak and 10% nylon. It's a fingering weight, and this is called Highland Heather. Oh, that is beautiful. So lovely. And there is their label. And the other one I got, because, you know, if you buy one, you've got to buy another one because then it's free postage. I got a sparkly one. So this is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And this is again fingering weight, and it's called Berry. So look at that. I mean, that is blowing out a bit. It's kind of more like that sort of colour. Beautiful, so lovely. And they come in cakes as well, so you haven't even got to wind them up. Quite honestly, when I do want to start a new project, the procrastination of scaling up a hank of yarn is kind of too much, but yeah, really lovely. Definitely recommend their website, so go and check them out. Right, got to get Bunny dinner, and yeah, I've got to check a few emails and then I'm done for the evening. I've decided that I'm going to knock off on time tonight and yeah, just do a few nice things.